I'm ready to move on to the next stage of my life. I decided to hire a professional matchmaker in Prague.
Honestly, he is not a grown-up man yet. He's still a little boy, looking for his mommy. I think Harold is going to be one of my most challenging clients.
Would you like to see my rock collection? Will you marry me?
All right, y'all, it's time for a new series on the king of RIZZ himself, the prince of pickup, the titan of Tinder. This man is out here absolutely killing it in the American dating game. Oh, wait, scratch that. Actually, he's never been on a date, never had a first kiss, and he's now going to try to find his future wife overseas on this insane show called Match Me Abroad, which is definitely giving me some 90 Day Fiancé vibes. And I don't mean to speak too soon, but I'm kind of getting major Big Ed cringe vibes, like nostalgic Big Ed cringe, not the kind of annoying most recent season, but the beginning of his journey where he was just striking out with everybody and we got to see him go on train wreck dates. That is what I am expecting from this show. So without any further ado, make sure you drop a like if you enjoy my content and want to see more of this series. And with that all out of the way, let's meet Harold, today's video subject, who I'm sure you're about to fall in love with as much as I have, okay? Because this dude is just so charismatic and I want to see him succeed in love, even though the odds are absolutely stacked against him.
I had a shirt very similar when I was a kid.
I had a guy on the way in tell me he had almost the exact shirt, but without the skulls.
Can't miss the skulls, too.
So this guy and his eclectic group of friends are out bowling. This is Harold, the G himself, and you can see he's just dripped out in head to toe. This is his party attire, and we're actually going to see him mainly in his normal outfit, which consists of suspenders and a button-up shirt. But you know, people spend like thousands of dollars on Balenciaga tees that look exactly like this dude's fit right here. So if you ask me, he's kind of giving, you know, Paris Fashion Week right now, all right? You might disagree with that, but I think this dude is drippy.
I feel I'm very close to living the life I've always wanted. I have friends, a cool apartment. The only thing I'm missing is true love.
So Harold's describing his friends and his cool apartment, and I just gotta say, this feels like when you're doing a like GTA heist and you see all the different characters of you and your friends that all have this insanely different look, just ridiculous vibes all around, like in every cutscene. I mean, what are these people doing? You got the guy over here who looks like a budget Chris Angel. You got the anonymous dude here, which I don't even want to know the backstory of why we can't show his freaking face. And then we got the hipster brewery worker and this other guy who just seems like he'd be the sidekick of a Family Guy type IRL skit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a crazy friend group here. And you think to yourself, Harold, you got such a blooming social life. Why are you struggling with dates so much? Well, I'm gonna let Harold explain why he's seeming to be having issues with American women.
I was diagnosed at age 8, I believe, with ADD without hyperactivity. I am autistic, but I manage it better now.
And while this absolute freaking genius is showing off his art, which is all actually pretty incredible, like this dude is multi-talented with different facets of art. He definitely has a creative brain. He's explaining the fact that he is autistic and has ADHD, and it almost is sad to hear this dude speak about the way that he manages his autism in his life. Clearly, that has been one of the main reasons it's hard for him to connect with people. That's a common thread you hear with people who have the same situation, and he's treating it like it's just some terrible thing. He's like, I'm better at working with it now. Like, all I'm saying, Harold, is you're gonna find out by the end of this show that you are only gonna find love with someone who you can be your true authentic self with. So I hope this man is not out here trying to suppress his very maybe eclectic and different ways of being in order to find love over here in Prague, which is actually going to be the country he's going to in order to be matched up with the love of his life.
Now that I have assets and a 401k that's actually filling out nicely, I'm ready to move on to the next stage of my life.
And the man's got assets, all right? He's bragging about this 401k that is filling up because he got some crazy job as like a hazardous x-ray tech. It sounds way above my pay grade. I'm sure dude's making bank, and he also has this insane rock collection. I mean, who would not want to inherit that as the significant other of this brilliant man? He's got a lot going for him, but you know, we still have not seen him interact with an actual woman, so I'm sure that's where we're going to be really understanding of why this dude has been out here struggling to find an ounce of love over here in America.
American women, they're playing games and they're not serious. So I've really had my heart set on Eastern European women. I've read that they're very blunt and honest.
So in Harold's mind, for some reason, people of different countries just have a total different way of being, and I get that. You know, there's the whole memes of like everybody from Paris, France is a jerk. But in Harold's eyes, he's just saying, okay, every Eastern European woman is much more straight to the point than all these American women who are out here playing games. And when he says stuff like that, I only can believe that this man is just striking out socially and not really taking the cues that these women aren't interested in him him because of that. He instead thinks that they're all out here just wanting to be challenging to date for some reason. It's like, no, playing hard to get is really not that common out here, but this man just thinks every single woman he's interacted with is like that. So that's his plan, and this show actually matches him up with a matchmaker who we're gonna meet this episode, who I gotta say is kind of opposite of this dude, but she is also exactly what he's looking for, and a good example of how straightforward apparently these Eastern European women are, because she tells it to him straight, his shortcomings, let me tell you that.
Harold is very unique and different from most of people. Honestly, he is not a grown-up man yet. He's still a little boy, looking for his mommy.
Yeah, so that's her stance on Harold right now. She just sees him as this infantile, like, little man-child who cannot take care of himself or could really, you know, be successful in the sphere of dating, but she's still taking him on as a client because according to this woman, she loves a challenge. So I am ready for this entire season of them bouncing off each other. I hope that he just has so many awkward moments and she, like, keeps him in check because this woman seems to be a no-frills type of dating coach or matchmaker, whatever she wants to be called.
Will you marry me?
Vezmeš si mě.
Vezmeš si mě.
An amazing juxtaposition here. She's talking about how much of a man-child he is as he sits next to his miniature, like, laughably small crock pot, making himself a one-man personal bowl of stew, and using Google Translate to look up terms like, do you like my rock collection, and will you marry me? Dude's thinking he could take one Duolingo class, learn a little bit of the language they speak over there, and he's just gonna be killing it. No, dude, the language barrier is gonna be the first of your problems. The personality is gonna be the second issue here.
Is that a bowling shirt?
I would go out dancing and wear this.
With skulls?
Yes. I liked goth girls back in the day.
So now Harold's over here with his mom packing up, which he does not live with his mom. That's one thing this man has on most of us watching this video probably. He's actually out here on his own doing his own thing, and I think that's kind of why he's getting this itch of wanting to, you know, get into a relationship and get married. He thinks that's the next logical step in his life, and his mother, while packing here, is just not feeling it. She's even talking to the camera in the behind-the-scenes interviews, talking about how much doubt she has, and how scary it is to think of this man going overseas, you know, hours away on a plane ride, getting heartbroken, and then being so far away from home and his support system, aka her. You know, that is a little bit scary as a parent of somebody who probably has never traveled internationally by themselves before. That's already a big undertaking, and then you pair it with this challenge of this man finding love for the first time, and it just seems like he's shooting for the stars and is definitely gonna miss. But anyways, even the cautious words of his mother is not gonna deter our homie here, alright? He is still on the search for love, so this next part is absolutely mind-blowing. He goes to a lawyer's office, and I'm not gonna let you guess why. Let's just see it play out.
I want to protect my art, but also I'm an inventor. Yes, I have a lot of intellectual property for products and inventions and processes and so forth.
Okay, so that's right. He's speaking to a lawyer about a prenup, which for those of you who don't know what that is, or you've heard that term and it's just been confusing to you, it's basically a legally binding document that says, hey, we're getting married, but what I had before we got married is mine, and what you had before you got married is yours, and if we get divorced, it's gonna stay that way. So Harold has not even found a successful partner to even go on one date with yet. He's nowhere close getting married, but before he goes over there, he is really doing his due diligence here, talking to a lawyer, making sure he doesn't get screwed over for all of his assets.
This is book 10. I have 9 others that are about this big that I filled about 1 page per invention.
And this is the main thing that he is protecting. Not only does he have his precious artworks, which we never know, he could be the next Basquiat. Those things could be selling for hundreds of millions of dollars one day, but he also has these 9 to 10 books worth of inventions that he's made that are going to one day come to fruition. Trust me, like, this man's in the process of doing it. You know, I have ADHD as well. He said he does have ADHD. I don't know if I technically buy the fact that he's going to really go past this inception phase of thinking of these inventions and turning them into real things, but if he does, he thinks he's going to make a buttload of money, and he wants to be protected from this foreign person that he's gonna go find to fall in love with, just in case he can't trust them fully and they end up being a gold digger, which is like his worst possible scenario in his brain. He's so certain that he's gonna be successful, it's like, no, you should be worried about landing the girl first before you even worry about how she is personally, all right?
Some of them are world-changing, some of them are small, but they could be a giant windfall of several million to tens of millions of dollars.
So, we just heard him explain that in his mind, these are going to lead to tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars, which I'm not trying to crap on this dude's dream, all right? I'm not trying to doubt a believer, somebody who is trying to manifest a large sum of money in their life. You know what? Go for it, man. But it is hilarious that he is talking to this lawyer who is just so in awe and confused at the situation. He's never met with somebody who's tried to get a prenup before even getting into a relationship, let alone somebody who's trying to get a prenup prenup for assets that don't even technically exist yet. This man doesn't really have that much money to his name right now. He just got out onto his own 2 feet, you know, living out away from his mom's house in his mid-30s here, so he's really not that well off, but he thinks if one of these inventions take off, he really needs to be protected.
If I get married and all of a sudden I have the fortune, she didn't really help with that. It was not earned. But if she stays with me a number of years, then she's earned a good portion of my millions.
This dude just has an absolute king mentality, dude. He's like, you know what? She didn't have this beautiful brain. She didn't help me develop these products and change my life with these inventions. So why does she deserve a dime? She may deserve my love, which is unending. But besides that, monetarily, she will not earn anything. It's like I'm getting very slight neckbeard vibes from this dude as well. I don't know if it's thoughts on women are, you know, 100% fair or modern, but you know what? It's his inventions. He's gonna do exactly what he wants with those future gains from those investments. I have no say in it, so you keep doing you, buddy, all right?
Yes, I haven't met her yet. I'm going to Prague and I'm going through a matchmaker.
And this lawyer is even looking at the mom like, are you serious? Did you guys actually come in here for this? Like, I'll tell you exactly how prenups work, but you could have just Googled it. You know, the show probably booked this consultation as well, so hopefully they're not paying for this out of pocket, but that's pretty much what he leaves with, is the knowledge of what a prenup is, which again, he could have easily looked up on the internet. But now that he has all the information and he knows that he's good, you know, once he does find the love of his life in Prague, which is 100,000% going to happen, he knows that he is going to be protected when he makes millions of dollars here very shortly, which is also 1,000% going to happen. This man is very certain of his future, and that's a trait I wish I could personally have, all right? I'm jealous of that. So now Katerina, the matchmaker, is calling Harold for the first time right before he packs up and boards his flight over to Prague. And this first conversation is pretty much just Harold not knowing exactly when to interject into the conversation and being cut off by this woman who is very excited to meet him, but also already grilling him over the phone. Check this out.
I haven't bought clothes in a long time, but these clothes are my favorite.
I hope they are not the clothes that you have been wearing for last 10 years, Harold. I hope they are really decent clothes.
I hope you're not packing the same BS that I saw you wearing in your pictures you submitted, because those are ugly, dorky old clothes. You need to get some new stuff. And he's like, no, actually, it's the same clothes, but they're classics. They're good for a reason. I have about 30 different types of suspenders and about 50 different bow ties, all right? Trust me, there's more than enough of me to go around fashion-wise. I'll be fine the whole trip, which it's also very funny to see him take in her notes on his clothing. Clearly, this is somebody who's trying to help you. It's in her best interest to find you love and to be successful and to advertise for her services on this show. So she is giving you tips on how to get women. And he's like, no, I actually don't need to listen to anything you say. My clothes are fine, and I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.
And also my rock collection. That's very important to me.
Rock collection?
Yes, a rock
You
collection.
want to carry heavy rocks?
I was considering it.
Oh, actually, the phone call is not over yet. He has to verify if it's okay for him to bring his rock collection, because just talking about it with these women is not going to be enough. He needs that physical proof. He needs those geodes on hand so he can show them how precious these rare materials are in his rock collection.
Bye, Mom. I've wanted this for so long. I have to take that risk. Jump in full force.
So with a big smile on his face, the man loads up with his mother in the car. She drives him to the airport, and he is on his first flight overseas going to Prague, which is where we're going to end the episode. I know I'm teasing y'all, but the next episode is going to be insane, where he goes to Prague and has his first date, which I'm sure is going to be the most painful cringe that I have seen in recent memory. So please, if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more of this series, leave a comment and a like down below so that I know that you guys are digging this. This is a show I really want to watch. As you can see, there's clearly going to be some Big Ed style cringe in here where I'm just like, what are you doing? Why can't you interact with these people normally? So if you're excited to see that, let me know. And as always, shout out to my Patreon supporters holding it down over there, helping me out. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. And until next time, peace out.